The OFC Champions League moved to Stade Nouma Daily in Noumea, New Caledonia. The defending champions Yenging Sport had already been knocked out, and AS Magenta were very keen to continue their presence in the competition. The group had been shaken by the departure of Tupapa Marairenga following the intervention of the Directorate of Health and Social Affairs of New Caledonia, following test results of 3 players from the Cook Islands representative club. That meant that Group C would involve just 3 teams, Solomon Warriors and TIARE Tahiti in their first ever outing, and of course last season's runners-up, AS Magenta. The first match in the group saw the Solomon Warriors taking on the Tahitians in the opening game, and that was a match that was to be led by New Zealand referee Nick Waldron, New Zealand's assistant referee Mark Rule, and Gareth Sheehan. Fourth official was also a Kiwi, it was Corey Mills. Coached by Selson Molia, the Solomon Warriors had a very experienced look to it. Jerry Donga, John Alec, Molia Tigi, Dennis Ufanawa have all been mainstays for the Solomon Warriors over the years. While for AS TIARE Tahiti, they would have a very difficult task on their hands, having never played at this level of the game previously. They were expected to put up strong resistance against a Solomon Warriors side that hadn't reached the quarterfinal stage for 2 years. Determined to make a good go of it in their first ever game in the OFC Champions League, the team in all red from Honiara were starting as favourites. Well, Dennis Ufanawa has been the mainstay goal threat for the Solomon Warriors over the years. His first ever strike at this level for the Warriors was in 2014, and he'll be hoping that he's on target again today. Well, there's an early interception and a shot from almost inside his own half, and it just scoots past the post. A very encouraging start for the Tahitians. Well, they've got this free kick to defend just 90 seconds into this match. It's not a bad ball in, and the goalkeeper takes it confidently. Michael Manea. Now TIARE Tahiti on the attack. Here's Tahuri Toa's cross, and that won't bother the goalkeeper, Timothy Maiarasia. That's wound in from Gibson Dowdow. It's found its way all the way out to the left-hand side, and some lovely footwork by Gagame. A corner kick for the Solomon Warriors. And they've got one on the near post, one at the far, 2 lingering around the penalty spot. It's bent in towards the keeper, who decides to punch. It was Manea's gloves that made first contact, and now TIARE Tahiti on the break. It's 3 against 2. There are players who are arriving in red to defend their goal, and it wasn't a bad effort from long range. The Tahitians making a very solid start here, but they do look vulnerable down this left-hand side. There's another shot from Angari Gagame. Couldn't keep it on target. And some decent footwork here. There was a foul, but Nick Waldron's allowed play to continue. Gagame beats one, beats another. And a good low block here from the Tahitians. And that shot will not cause Michel Manea too many nightmares. There's a give and go into the front man. Ufanawa's played a very good ball to Gibson Dowdow. And he goes to the near post, and Manea was down low to his left to deal with this. The defence was coming in. It was Nick Tauataha, and the save from Manea was a good one. Well, the Tahitians are showing a lot of defensive nous, and that's a very good ball. It's turned defence into attack. The first touch was heavy. The goalkeeper came out for it. That's a great save by Maiarasia. It's been end-to-end stuff in these opening 15 minutes, and the Tahitians can be very happy with the way they've played so far. As we see Dowdow whip that ball in towards the penalty spot. Another little give and go by the Tahitians. A very risky tackle. He won the ball, but it was from behind. And Nick Waldron has got that one completely right, and it's a yellow card for John Alec. You can see there that he's won the ball, but you cannot make a tackle from that position. A very straightforward decision for the referee. 21 minutes gone, and Dowdow's finding a lot of space down this right-hand side. Another corner for the Solomon Warriors. Well, Tahiti now trying to attack down the right-hand side with Bio Odochabi. Very tall, strong player, Odochabi. It's Tavaiho Tahuritaua with the free kick, and that's a very good free kick too. And the goalkeeping was a bit messy from Maiarasia, and he gets it at the second attempt. Goodness me, look at this again. It was whipped in from a long way out. The goalkeeper mishandles it, and he was lucky he got something in front of it because it looked as though it was destined for the top corner. Lovely give and go down the right-hand side. Ball launched towards the far post. The Solomon Warriors have dealt with it. And the shot from long range was dug out by Harold Ovodagabi. And no threat to the Warriors' goal. And now they've got a chance to turn this into an attack. That was a promising move. Ifanawa's shot had left Michel Manea somewhat stranded. It was a very good run. He's got electric pace here to beat two defenders to reach that ball. And the goalkeeper got his angles right. We'll see here from this replay. Manea got lucky. Almost at the half-hour mark. Solomon Warriors 0. Here's TIARE Tahiti in their first ever OFC Champions League game. Making a very good start. And another free kick. Well, the Solomon Warriors are going to have to watch the quality of their tackling. It's letting them down, and they are giving the Tahitians a sighter here. Foul committed by Emmanuel Poiler. Tavairoa Tahuritaua with the free kick. Bends it in towards the 6-yard box. It was dealt with by the Warriors, but this is a very difficult spell for the team who I labelled as favourites prior to kickoff. Bent towards the back post. TIARE Tahiti looking for a way to unlock this red wall defence, led by Hadasangari and teammates, as this one's popped into the far post, but the danger ends. That's not a bad ball. That's released Odochabi down this right-hand side. A good low cross, and that's dealt with very well by Timothy Maiarasia. Ufanawa, and Ufanawa pushed over by Urari Hanere. You can see here just what happened. Two hands in the back. And the push, and Ufanawa down to the ground. That's a clear free kick, and Hanare was fortunate not to see a yellow card for what occurred afterwards. Gibson Dowdell with a free kick. Bends it in towards the far post, and Manea, who's a big physical presence in the Tahitian goal, was not to be pushed off the ball this time. Lovely little step over, lovely change of pace, whipped in towards that near post, and here's the resulting corner. And it's hacked away by the Tahitians. They haven't cleared their lines just yet. Lovely first touch. Second touch, not too bad either. The goalkeeper's come for it, and that's brave glove work from Timothy Maiarasia. He's been kept rather busy, the Solomon Warriors goalkeeper. Here's Molia Tigi. In towards Manea, and misses goalkeeper and striker. I think it's Ufanawa who's gone down. And this will be of some concern to Celso Molia, the coach of the Solomon Warriors, as we again see the quality of the cross, this time using the right foot, bending it in towards the goalkeeper. This does not look good for the Warriors as they contemplate this corner. Dowdell takes it. It's gone to the far post, won by the Tahitians. The second ball, and that is a good save. That is a fine piece of goalkeeping. You can raise a glass here to the dexterity of this goalkeeper, who doesn't look as though he'd be naturally as agile as this, but that was a top-class save. And we are bearing down on half-time. No goals here at Stade Numa Daily. It will be something more of a sprint rather than a marathon towards the quarterfinals. Of course, Tupapa Maraerenga, who withdrew from the competition following the decision taken by the New Caledonian government to restrict the participation of 3 of their players. Also 2 players from the Solomon Warriors, it must be said. But the Solomon Islanders have elected to carry on. And at half-time here at Stade Numa Daily, it's Solomon Warriors 0, AS TIARE Tahiti 0. Well, Vatia Terai, the coach of AS TIARE Tahiti, will be rather pleased with the character that his team has shown in their first ever outing in this competition. They did keep Timothy Maiarasia busy in the first 45 minutes. Michel Manea was also a standout, a couple of good saves by the Tahitian goalkeeper. Here's Batafurai. Lovely first time pass. That's allowed the shot to come in, and that is a brilliant save. My word. Michel Manea, he does get around. Look at this. Good footwork. And the glove work was equally brilliant. Free kick taken by Tahuri Toa. And that has gone straight into the arms of Maiarasia. Here's a lovely give and go. Moliatigi. Oh, great work. He's beaten 2, goes down. Penalty kick, surely. And Nick Waldron says yes. And this could be the turning point of the match that the Solomon Warriors were looking for. Brilliant piece of skill. Look at that lovely step over with the hips. And then a coming together between Nick Toitaha and his teammate. Here is John Alec. Oh, what a save! Brilliant goalkeeping yet again from Michel Manea. Talk about agility. Talk about poise. And that is one of the best saves I think I've seen in the OFC Champions League group stage in a many year. Manea comes for it again. He's turning into a real cult hero for the Tahitians. That's a decent ball in, and that was the best chance of the game for the Tahitians, and it fell to Manari Polea. To Hiratoa, and they forced a good save. It's turning into a story all about the goalkeepers today. TIARE Tahiti have opened the game up well. The keeper's come, and it's just wide of the mark. It was a golden chance to take the lead, and the newcomers were looking at a moment of real possibility there. Dowdow's cross into the hands of Manea. Launched forward. Solomon Warriors' defence had just opened up. They've shown some vulnerability when both fullbacks get forward. Their centre halves are exposed as they are here. Chance now for the Tahitians, and it's another great save, and it's Timothy Maiarasia who has denied Bio Odochabi. Odochabi really, with that first touch, gave himself the chance with the right foot. Cuts inside the defender, checks onto that foot, tries to bend it around, and the keeper was equal to the task. And again, it's taken at the second time of asking. I wonder if Maiarasia and Manea will exchange notes at the end of this one. They've both been in the thick of the action. It's incredible that we haven't seen a goal yet as the ball's wound in. And speak of the devil, it's Dennis Ufanawa who breaks the deadlock midway through the second half. And it was a good ball in, nice and early. And he got between the centre half. It was Urarihi Hanere who just for the moment lost his concentration. You'll see here, look how far away he is from Ufanawa, and that is a very good finish from a player who doesn't need too many chances in a match as big as this one. 20 minutes to go. The Solomon Warriors have a lead, and the chance to double it is wasted by John Alec. Chabi. Oh, he's shrugged off 2 challenges, and he's been pulled up here. And this could be a problem for the Tahitians. It's a yellow card. Well, there was the shove, and you wouldn't say that TIARE Tahiti are out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but you rather fancy the Solomon Warriors' experience to get them through here. That's a very intelligent ball. There's a run to the near post, and the ball was whipped into the far. No takers in red. Long-range shot, awkward one, and it was shown enough respect by Timothy Maiarasia to go after it. Tahitians trying to find an equaliser. They've got a free kick with just 5 minutes to go. With just 3 games in this section now, they will be desperate to get themselves a point. Oh, pity the player suffering under the watch of Mollis Gagami. 4.5 minutes of the regulation 90 to play. Maiarasi is happy with his 5-man wall. Chabi stands over it. Can't beat the wall. Solomon Warriors have survived a rather sticky moment, and they've got 2.5 more minutes left. Here's Chabi. Picks out Paulao. Well, the Tahitians need to get players forward. They need players in the box. Oh, this is lovely skill. The shot, and it's lashed over the crossbar. Time running out for Vatia Terai's team. Another free kick, and this is where the Solomon Warriors are at their most vulnerable. Hooked into the far post. Chance! Surely! Oh, and it goes begging. Tekevaya, he should have hit it first time there. He decided to take the touch, and by then the angle was useless to him. 3 minutes of additional time. Moliatigi cues it up for a teammate. John Alec lays it off, and oh dear me, that is a rotten effort from Lindsay Norman. It's now or never for TIARE Tahiti. They have to. Oh, and that is a terrible touch by Chabi. And that is full time here at Stade Numa Daily. It has finished Solomon Warriors 1, AS TIARE Tahiti 0. And a goal to Dennis Ufanawa in 65 minutes proved to be the difference. But a lot of compliments have to go to the Tahitian goalkeeper, Michel Manea, and his opposite number, Timothy Maiarasia. So the standings after day 1, Solomon Warriors on top with 3 points. Well, there was everything to play for in the second match of the truncated group. It was an all-French derby between AS Magenta, finalists in 2005 and 2019, against the tournament debutantes and arch-rivals from French Polynesia. These sorts of rivalries go all the way back to the 1930s, and it would be bragging rights on the line and also a future in this tournament. It was an experienced AS Magenta lineup led by Jean-Chris Wajoka and Jean-Brice Wadriako. Gaetan Gopiwate was also another player to keep your eye on. For AS TIARE Tahiti, the expectations would have been tempered against the defeat in the opening game, but this was a derby match, and Michel Manea showed that he was a top-quality goalkeeper who might be needed tonight. AS Magenta, who last played on the surface in the Champions League in the 2019 final, which they lost to Yenging Sport, must wonder if this season will be their opportunity to go one step further. perhaps win the competition. For the Tahitians, it was all about victory today. This was a knockout game for them, and they were determined to put one over their old rivals. Referee for this one was Matt Conger of New Zealand. Isaac Trevis and Hilman Sese of New Zealand and Vanuatu were the assistant referees, and the fourth official was from Fiji. It was Veer Singh. There was a solemn start to the match with a moment of silence in honour of Ronaldo Nonmiu's father, who sadly passed away. Well, a very poignant moment for the Magenta side. Ronaldo Nonmiu is on the bench today. It's a show of bravery and courage, solidarity by the New Caledonians, and they'll be hoping that perhaps tonight they can find some solace on the football pitch to take their minds off what must have been a very, very difficult time. Magenta with the corner, wound in towards the penalty spot, headed clear by TIARE Tahiti's very tall defence. That's a lovely first touch. Second wasn't too bad. Tapati's first time pass, trying to pick out the figure of Orochabi, and the shot was not a very good one in truth. Here's Wajoka. Look at the pace of Wajoka, teasing and tormenting this Tahitian defence and discovering a corner for his team. Hermine's corner goes to the near post, and Magenta get two bites at it, neither able to lock on. And the Tahitians are off to a bit of a shaky start here, and you can understand why Bio Odochabi's made the apology. He was booked in the first game. He doesn't want to miss out if the Tahitians go further, as Manea, this time the handling wasn't as crisp as we saw in the first match that he played. You can see here he's underneath it. Perhaps it was something to do with the floodlights, but he has managed to keep it clear of the back of the net. That's the main thing. "12 minutes gone, still no goals at Stade Numa Daily, but Magenta are making their presence felt. That was a heavy tackle, and it was Fonzie Ranshane who was taken out. He takes this free kick. That's a decent sighter for Manea. Well, TIARE Tahiti haven't been able to find a way out until now. But there's an injury here to Bio Orochabi. Magenta looked to get on with things, but it looks as though he might have pulled a hamstring the way that he's nursing the back of his left leg. He looks in a lot of discomfort. It would not surprise me if he were to go off. Manari Polea could be one replacement as this effort goes into the gloves of Manea. That's a lovely piece of work by Ranshane. There's the layoff. Lovely first touch. Look at the movement here. The shot, not as impressive as the build-up work, but there was a lot to admire about the way Nathaniel Hermine went about his business. Here's Fonzie Ranshane again. Goes to the far post. Manea comes and plucks it out of the air. He hardly got off the ground, but he came a long way for it. Nice first touch. Rico Herring. And it's a good battle won by the defender Damien Wanapopo. And this is the first real chance that we've seen for TIARE Tahiti in AS Magenta's half. 19th minute of the game as it goes to the far post, and there's the header. And it was won by Rico Herring, but he couldn't get it on target. And this looks as though it will be curtains for Bio Orochabi, and indeed he is replaced by Manari Polea. Oh, that's a decent pass, you know. Herring Racing down this right-hand side, he's got two arriving at the near post and one at the far. And I tell you what, it's gone in, and it's a goal for TIARE Tahiti. The visitors have struck. Well, Paulea has only been on the pitch for just a couple of minutes. It might even be his first touch of the ball. Coming on as a substitute for Otachabi, got in front, and it just trickled past the goalkeeper. And it's a shock lead for the Tahitians. That's a better look of it up close. And it just trundled into the back of the net. Nicodem Hamain didn't even show any real serious move towards the ball. And it's a shock lead for the tournament debutants against last season's finalists. Kevin Matrin. And that's a good ball from Nathaniel Mine. Matrin will try to find a teammate. He's only managed to throw that right down the throat of Michel Manea. Well, there's a real spring in the step of all these players in green at the moment. Oh, and it just popped up in front of Herring, I think it was. And that could have been a very awkward moment if TIARE Tahiti had gone 2-0 up. Coming up to the half-hour mark, Magenta showing no signs of panic or distress. And they have a lot of experience in this tournament. Tonight is their 45th match in this competition. But right now, the Tahitians are the ones who have the injury concerns. Herring trying to find a ball forward to take some pressure off and protect this one-goal lead that TIARE Tahiti have got. Here's Tahuri Toa. Well, that's a lovely side step to Huritoa, and well saved by Nicodem Hamain at the near post. Well, the Tahitians looking to maybe double their advantage here, and surely they must score. And again, oh, it's off the line. Brilliant defending from Damien Wanapopo, and despair for Teveroa to Huritoa. That should have been 2-0 for the Tahitians right there and then. Magenta were all over the place. You can see Wanapopo got beaten with the first ball in. The goalkeeper's got enough on the ball for Wanapopo to recover, and he hurls the ball over the crossbar. 10 minutes before half-time, Magenta were really looking down the barrel there, and they still are if the Tahitians can make something of this corner. It's gone all the way to the far post, and the marking was very slack from Magenta. You can see there was an inquest going into just who was picking up at the far post for the team in yellow. The answer was nobody. They really are riding a fine line here tonight, and a chance to... Oh, it's hit the base of the post. Manea didn't know anything about that. And Magenta try and cut it back, and the Tahitians hanging on to the slender one-goal lead. They will be very grateful to see the half-time whistle blown by Matt Conger, and that's a yellow card. Didier Samane doing a real number here. And it's Heare Mapiri, the victim. So a yellow card shown to Magenta. Less than 5 minutes to go to half-time. TIARE Tahiti leading Magenta by a 1-0. They have shown a lot of defensive resilience in both their games so far. And there's a foul here that will result in a yellow card. Urari Hanere has gone into the book, and you can see why. It studs up over the top of the foot. And in all seriousness, it could have been red. And Ronchan with the free kick, and it's wide of the mark. 4 minutes of additional time at the end of the first half. Here's Mapiri. Lovely ball. Possibilities now. There's the cross. It's an interesting floated ball, but no takers. Magenta just hanging on, punched away by Hamain, and Mapiri couldn't quite get over the top of the ball. Goalkeeper came for it aggressively. Here's Magenta. on the counter-attack. Is there a chance here? Manea is like a brick wall. Just standing up to it. It was a decent effort from Nathaniel Lamine. Well, the Tahitians, oh, there's a mix-up. And it is in the back of the net. And Magenta are level. Kevin Nemia has equalised for the home side. And there's delight on Alan Wazan's bench. Well, Magenta looked as though they could go 2-0 down in a couple of very ropey defensive moments. But it was the Tahitians who got their lines all wrong here at the back. Look at this. They both left it for each other. And Nemia punished them with a blistering finish. It's 1-1. Well, it's been end-to-end stuff. Magenta looked the more composed of the two teams. They've got more on offer in attack, but defensively it's been a very average performance from the runners-up, last season's runners-up. And that is half-time in what's been a very entertaining first 45 minutes here at Stade Numa Daily. Goals to Paulea after 24 minutes. He came on as a substitute. It was his first touch of the ball, and Kevin Nemia scored the equaliser. Well, TIARE Tahiti now have to score at least another goal if they want to pick up 3 points and stay in this competition. Of course, they don't have the opportunity to play Tupapa Maraerenga. That game is going to be awarded to them as a 3-0 victory, but all the teams in this group will have a 3-0 victory alongside their name as Magenta race forward. Down this right-hand side, the ball's lofted in towards the near post. It's picked off by Michel Manea. Wanapopo's given a very good ball down this right-hand side. Mapere goes to ground. It's a free kick. He says he won the ball, but again, it's a tackle from behind. He did get the ball first, but the laws of the game are quite clear about this. Magenta lining up this free kick. And there is the goal, and it's a goal for Magenta, and it looks as though it's an own goal. Rico Herring took the final touch. It was a low, flat free kick, and it skimmed off the top of his head, and Michel Manea didn't get anywhere near it once it made contact with the defender. Look at that, it just pops up over the top. And it's 2-1 to the New Caledonians. And they have turned it around. Now the pressure all on TIARE Tahiti, and they might get an equaliser early on. That would have been the moment. And they've passed it up through Junior Tiao. Well, is there a way back for the Tahitians? That's the big question here. They're going to have to draw on all their reserves of character to overcome. Fonzie Rashane will take the free kick. Decides to go for a bit of glory there for himself, and doesn't trouble the keeper. That's given away, and TIARE Tahiti on the attack. Thought about the shot, lines it up. Now the shot! And it's hoisted over the top. Tavaho to Huritoa. More fast, direct attacking from TIARE Tahiti. It's Junior Tiao. Tiao. That's not a bad ball, and there's nobody in there, though. That's the problem. Brilliant work from Tiao down the right-hand side. Lovely layback. And John Kreiswajoka. Oh, and you could see what he was trying to do. Tuck it in that far corner. Didn't quite manage to get the purchase on the ball required for that, and it was picked up by Manea. Well, as far as derby games go, it's one that's been played in the best of spirits, but I rather think that as we get towards the final knockings of this one, that perhaps some of that goodwill and friendliness might start to erode as we see another heavy tackle go in. And the perpetrator was Jean-Chris Wajoka. Here is Wajoka. Lovely back heel. That's brilliant. Wadrioko goes to the far post, and the volley has pitched it up, and that was an awkward one. Michelle Minea didn't come for it. Kevin Nemia was sitting underneath it. And here come TIARE Tahiti. Desperate for an equaliser. Good save by Hermine. And it's still end-to-end stuff. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's very hard to predict. Wajoka, he's beaten 2. Wajoka again, lays it off. Here's numbers at the far post, and it's... Wajoka's at the post. How did he manage that? It looked easier to score. He looked to go with first the right foot and then lunged at it with the left, and it hit the upright. And meanwhile, at the other end, TIARE Tahiti, and Hermine has come for it. It's hit the outside of the upright. Desperation for TIARE Tahiti. Where were the fullbacks for AS Magenta? And Hermine had to come out and do some sweeping, and a good thing that he did for Magenta's sake. And Alan Wazan is very, very unhappy. Midway through the second half, TIARE Tahiti going in search of an equaliser. Can they find it? There's a long-range shot and wide of the target. Here's Magenta, meanwhile, Roshane, and it's just wide of the mark. He's had a wonderful game in midfield. Excellent technician. TIARE Tahiti trailing by 2-1. Again, Magenta's fullbacks caught high up the pitch. And Rico Herring, he's brought down, is he? Oh, and the referee is going to have a good long look at this one. Teivaroa Tahuritaua managed to get clear, and I think he was caught, by Damien Wanapopo. This, for me, is a penalty kick. He gets a pat on the back and a yellow card, it must be said. And the man of the moment is Tavaiho Tahuritaua. Skipper deciding to take on the responsibility of getting his team back in the game. He's eyeing up the goalkeeper, Nicodem Hermine. A really big moment for TIARE Tahiti. Oh, he's missed it. Goodness me. The golden opportunity to stay in the tournament. Never mind the match. And it's blazed over the crossbar. Hermine went the wrong way too. But Tahuritaua fires it over the bar. And with it, perhaps TIARE Tahiti's hopes, unless there's something special they've got in reserve to try and haul themselves back in. Very difficult to come back from a missed penalty. Oh, that's a lovely turn by Junior Ta'o, and he's thrown it into the far post. There it is! 2-2. The game is all tied up. And would you believe it? It's that man again, Manari Polea, the player who came on as a substitute for Bio Orochabi. It was lovely work. First time ball was hit early enough to catch out the Magenta defence, and the left foot finish left Tamine with absolutely no chance of stopping it. Look at this. Hit it with power and pace. The goalkeeper's reactions were stunted, and it's 2-2 at Stade Numa Daily. What a turnaround this has been. What a match this has been. TIARE Tahiti's debut in the OFC Champions League. It's been beautiful to watch, and perhaps there's something more to come, but not with crosses like that. Perhaps a bit of fatigue creeping in, but you never know. It's game on. Magenta clinging on to this point that they've earned, and there's a lovely shot. That was a very good effort, and almost a hat-trick for Paulea. He's on fire at the moment for Tahiti. And mine, I think he was caught out of position. It only needed to be slightly closer to the upright to start to cause problems. And now a free kick for Magenta with 10 minutes to go in this pulsating OFC Champions League Group C encounter. And that won't trouble Manea. That's in fact probably one of the easiest stops he's had to make in the tournament. And the question will be, can the Tahitians hold on to this point that they've earned for themselves? It's found a way through. Oh, and it's stabbed wide of the mark. And that was maybe a half chance. Nathaniel Hermine will feel that he should have done better, and perhaps he might get a second look at it. That's a good ball. And, yeah, it was an awkward one all round. Well, 80th minute ticks over. A yellow card is brandished. And it's poor manner of AS Magenta who goes into the book. Shane Walapane, the substitute, will take this corner kick. He goes to the near post, and that was rather ambitious. You have to look to help it on over the back of your head rather than trying to score from that angle. Ball wasn't hit with enough pace to really cause the goalkeeper any problems, and neither does that. You have to admire the nonchalance of Michel Mane in that situation. He really does get his angles right in those situations. I've seen it a couple of times in both the games played by his team in this tournament to date. 4 in the penalty box for Magenta, waiting for a cross. It's lobbed into the far post, and the volley strikes the back of Junior Ta'o. And now TIARE Tahiti again. They do look to draw the centre halves on, and there's the change of pace. And the goalkeeper comes through it. That's well read by Nicodem Hamain. Just under 5 minutes left to go. The hopes of TIARE Tahiti of staying in the tournament, maybe picking up a famous away victory in this French derby, this French-speaking derby in the OFC Champions League. Still alive, but they're up against a very, very experienced team. As I said, tonight is their 45th match in this competition. As the ball's wound in. Oh, and it's in the back of the net. And that could be it. Kevin Nemia. AS Magenta celebrate the thought of perhaps picking up all 3 points here. Nemia floated in completely unmarked, and Michel Manea was exposed, and perhaps for the first time in this competition, he has been caught out. It's poor handling from him. And he has relied so heavily on the quality of marking by centre-halves. They let him down there, but he too with the glove work. And AS Magenta have the winning finishing line in sight. 90 seconds of the regulation, 90 minutes to go. There'll be 5 minutes of additional time added on. Still hope for TIARE Tahiti, but there'll be some heavy legs out there, I'm sure, as Rico Herring winds it into the far post. Nicodem Hamain got a glove on it, and now Jean-Chris Wajoka trying to find safety. Marperi has to find the target here, a green shirt, and down goes the figure of... Well, I'm not too sure who that is, but it will be a corner kick instead. Punched away by Hamain. Walapane. And now Magenta can wrap things up. It's 3 against 1 here. And Tahiti. And it's, well, it's a good save in the end from Michel Manea, making amends somewhat. Time running out for TIARE Tahiti. Punched over the bar by Nicodem Hamain. Still some work to do, still some anxiety to experience for the New Caledonians. They feel that they've got these points all wrapped up. There's a bit of work to be done to make sure of that. Is there a hero in a green shirt? Oh, and it's hit the crossbar. Free header. Surely had to do better. Danger not clear. What a moment. That was the moment for TIARE Tahiti. Magenta completely switched off. There's the volley. And I think Magenta have survived. If they can get this ball clear, they might well have won the game. And indeed, that is full time. What a game that was. It's finished AS Magenta 3, TIARE Tahiti 2. The Tahitians will be knocked out of the tournament following this defeat. Manari Polea came up with 2 goals off the bench. Rico Herring scored an own goal, and there was a pair of goals for Kevin Nemia. So confirmation of the standings. AS Magenta with 6 points, Solomon Warriors with 6, TIARE Tahiti no points, and of course Tupapa Maraerenga also without any points. The final game of Group C took place between AS Magenta and Solomon Warriors, with both clubs safely through to the quarterfinals. Up for grabs was top spot in the group and perhaps a home quarterfinal. AS Magenta and the Solomon Warriors met last season in the competition, with the New Caledonians running out 3-0 winners, courtesy of goals for Richard Saleh with 2 and Nathaniel Lamine. Would it be the same tonight? This match was refereed by Corey Mills of New Zealand. Isaac Trevis and Mark Rule, the assistant referees, were also from New Zealand, and Veer Singh was once again the fourth official. Well, with the international sign language determining which way each of the teams would go and who would kick off, we were underway at Stade Numa Daily. AS Magenta looking to make it a 100% record in the group stage and a victory in their 46th match in the competition. The team in all red were looking to spoil the party and perhaps finish top of the group. Be some achievement as that ball was wound into the near post, trying to seek out Dennis Ufanawa inside the first minute. One major change for AS Magenta saw Nicodem Hamine go to the bench. Steve Azui with his first appearance in this competition. Here is Kevin Nemia, the goal hero. That was a very good pullback by Kevin Nemia. They were queuing up on the edge of the penalty box to take advantage of Nemia's good work. Bit of pace here on the outside. It's whipped in towards the near post. Easy stuff for Azui. Well, Solomon Warriors get a lucky break here. First goal in this one tonight could be very important indeed. Goals were hard to come by for the Solomon Warriors last season. They only managed to pick up one victory, as we see Magenta with a big chance, and that was a very awkward one. The shot from Nemia was an awkward one too, and the goalkeeper's missed it. Nemia with a chance, and a foul against the goalkeeper. The ball ricocheted into the bottom of the crossbar. And Timothy Mairasia was the victim of that moment of foul play. Here's Haddison Gairi. Oh, he's given it straight to AS Magenta. A chance, and it's a goal. 15 minutes in, a mistake by the skipper. Haddison Gairi has sunk the Solomon Warriors, and it's a splendid goal, a splendid finish at least. Look at this. You don't give up chances like that and avoid getting punished. Look at the power on the shot here. Bang! Back of the net. Very, very impressive finish, but not very impressive defending. Fine strike by Fonzie Runshane. The difference between the two teams so far. Well, it gives the Solomon Warriors a mountain to climb in this game. And for Magenta, it gives them the impetus. Perhaps they can grab a second here. Wallapan misses, and there it is. It is a second. And AS Magenta are in a rush to get this group all wrapped up. 2-0 just before the half-hour mark. Well in advance of the half-hour mark, by the way. And Solomon Warriors have all but been sunk in this opening 26-minute salvo. It was a poor shot that set up the chance, and it was swept home by Nathaniel Lamine, who was on the score sheet against the Solomon Warriors last season, and he repeats the dose here in 2020. Well, the Warriors have got themselves into a very tight spot, and they will now have the best part of an hour to try and claw it back without conceding too much damage. That wasn't too bad a shot fired towards Steve Ajui. Here's Runshane, taken down late, and Corey Mills has played advantage here. And it's a yellow card. This is very good refereeing by the New Zealand official. There was the tackle from behind, straight forward yellow card. But Corey Mills allowed play to continue to see what possibly might unfold for the New Caledonians. Once again, top officiating. Here's Shen Walapane with the corner kick, goes to the penalty spot, and the shot is collected nicely by Fonzie Runshane, but he couldn't quite get it on target. Lovely technique, though, but wide of the mark. He feels he should have done better, judging by that reaction. Solomon Warriors trailing 2-0. In many ways, the pressure is off in terms of having to get something out of this game. They will go through to the quarterfinals, there's no doubt about that. But at this stage, it looks as though they'll be travelling away for their quarterfinal. There's a long-range shot, and it looks more like a rugby conversion than a football free kick. And they have a free kick, though, down the left-hand side. Wallapan getting involved. Dowdow set it up for Lindsay Norman. He managed to get the cross in. It's been defended by Magenta. And they've let it run through to Dowdow. That's not a bad ball. Steve Ajui had to be very watchful as he came for that. He took one in the ribs, I think. Maybe the head of Dennis Sifanawa. Oh, I do apologise. Molly Ategi was the player who caught Ajui. He's not the tallest of goalkeepers as far as they go. Once that ball's up in the air and he's catching it at anywhere above head height, there is a chance of getting collected by players arriving on the scene to take advantage of the cross. Here's Molly Atigi. Well, 3 minutes of additional time to be added on at the end of the first half. Solomon Warriors would dearly love to half the deficit and go in with something to build on for the second half. Lovely little cut back. Tiggy with the chance to bend it in around the top of Steve Ajui's upright. This free kick's defended well. Wallapan with a nice touch. Fonzie Runshane. And that has squirted into the hands of Steve Ajui, almost like a back pass in a game of FIFA. It was almost calibrated perfectly to Steve Ajui. Warriors launching that ball forward aimlessly. And that is the halftime whistle by Corey Mills. It's been all AS Magenta in a somewhat subdued match with both teams already guaranteed a place in the last 8. But it's Magenta 2, Solomon Warriors 0. Well, the fact that this group has been reduced to just 3 games has meant that it does seem a somewhat shortened competition. It hasn't been short of drama. We've had 3 very good teams, and perhaps that's something to think about for organisers in future. But in terms of competitive edge, it's been Magenta who have dictated the momentum of this one tonight. Warriors haven't really created what you would describe as a clear-cut chance. It's a straightforward call for Corey Mills. Roland Mamanika falling foul of the laws of the game as the Warriors try and build up this counter-attack down the right-hand side. It's Gibson Dowdow launching it towards the far post, and the miscue was by Dennis Ufanawa. Here's Angari. Sorry, it's not Angari Gagame, it's Jerry Donga. Dowdow with another chance to cross from deep. Ajui again catches it without too much fuss. The Warriors have had a lot of the ball, but the delivery from out in these wide areas is not finding its intended target or It's been defended with a great deal more steel than we saw from the Magenta side in their victory over TIARE Tahiti. Well, there's going to be a change. Steve Ajui is coming off, and he's being replaced by Nicodem Amine, who we saw plenty of in the victory in the opening game. Clean sheet for Ajui after 55 minutes of action. I'm guessing that was part of Alan Moison's thinking when the tournament started, that perhaps Ajui would get an opportunity to go between the sticks against Tupapa Maraerenga, a game that really Magenta should win comfortably. But it's forced some rethinking here, so at least both of his goalkeepers have been given pitch time ahead of the knockout stages. Here's a chance for Ronshine, and he did well to cut that back. There were no white shirts in the 6-yard box. 1 hour gone, and it's AS Magenta 2, Solomon Warriors 0. That was a very good corner. Beaten away. Magenta. Through Wadriako, and that's handled, and you could see a little bit of concern on the face of Timothy Mairasia as he came for that ball. Lovely first touch. The Warriors have got numbers here. They should deal with this comfortably. Magenta got a shot away anyhow. That will be of some concern. Mairasia seemed to have the angles covered. Well, the Warriors really haven't been themselves tonight. They've lacked an edge. I think the fact that they're through to the last 8 has probably dulled their blade somewhat. Midway through the second half now. Dennis Ufanawa with this corner kick. It's flighted to the far post, and oh, that's a good save. It's off the line. Best chance of the game for the Solomon Warriors, and maybe this will give them a bit of a shake. That was a good piece of goalkeeping, and it was equally decent defending, although it, for the moment, looked as though Poulachon might have put this in the back of his own net, as Maxime Poulachon tried to deal with the danger. Corner kick to the far post. The header's not got a lot of purchase on it. And the Warriors now trying to find a way back into the game. Dow goes to the near post. There's a good layoff, but it had too much on it. John Alec had just dropped off looking for that cutback. Easy one for Nicodem Hamine. Here's Nathaniel Hamine. Oh, I thought about the bicycle kick. Kevin Nemia, good shot and a fine save by Mairasia. You could see the header went to the edge of the box. The left foot volley was hit with power and strength and accuracy. And the goalkeeper, it was at a good height to be saved, but you wouldn't say it was an easy stop given the strength that it was struck with. Just under quarter of an hour left. Solomon Warriors trailing AS Magenta by 2-0. That's a decent ball. The Solomon Warriors starting to look more like their attacking and exciting selves. Here's Dow. Oh, just wide of the mark. Very good shot from Dow. Took a deflection on the way through. Corner kick. He's looking for movement. Goes to the far post, but that's bread and butter for the goalkeeper. Let's not forget that from Group A, Eastern Suburbs and Galaxy have qualified. Malumpa Revivers and the Henderson Eels. And Solomon Warriors and AS Magenta are there also. Auckland City's group is going to get underway. Here's Nemia, and that's a good shot. Auckland City are playing in Tahiti, of course. That is the final group, Group D. As we look at this effort from Kevin Nemia, that's a good save. Goalkeeper standing up to it, waiting to pick his spot. And pick it he did. Just under 2 minutes remaining in this one. It's sort of petering out. It's now Magenta who look like the team that are rather more comfortable with a bit of a lack of edge, although they're going to finish up with 9 points and a 100% record, and you can't argue with that, albeit, 3 points from Tupapa Maraerenga. Here's John Alec with a free kick. Tried to beat the wall. It did go through the wall. Chance! Volleyed over the top. And that was probably going to be that, you would think. Magenta have got 3 minutes to hold on. And that was all a bit untidy. Ball launched forward. Solomon Warriors looking for a consolation goal, and it's not going to come for them. They will go through to the last 8 with AS Magenta, but it's the New Caledonians, the host club, who have won Group C, a truncated group that lacked the presence of Tupapa Maraerenga, who elected to withdraw from the competition. But goals for Nathaniel Hamine and Fonzie Runshane are the difference tonight. Alan Wazan's team through in top place. They'll have a home quarter-final as they seek to go one better in the OFC Champions League 2020. One more group to be played: Auckland City FC, Venus, Lupe Olasonga and Bar, and that will be coming your way in the near future. Confirmation of the final standings: Magenta with 9 points, Solomon Warriors with 6, no points for Tupapa Maraerenga, although TIARE Tahiti will pick up the points off that default from Tupapa Maraerenga. That's all from OFC TV. We'll see you again next time.